Hello, everyone. It's June the 28th, Tuesday. Again, I want this to be zero, but I'm happy that since the last time I was with you in our last briefing, we've only had one death. That was a 65-year-old female in Kanawha County. That's the 7,057th death in West Virginia. Please, please offer up your prayers for this incredible family and all their loved ones. And if you know them, please contact them and please let them know they're not alone. We stand right with them, but we're regretting and really sad that we've lost this great person, this great woman. But at the same time, we're celebrating the fact that we're getting, it's surely improvement. We have 1,993 active cases in West Virginia. 564 new positive cases. Our daily positivity rate, we must not have tested much at all, was 12.08. Cumulative rate is at 8.16. Recovered cases, 522,126. We have 220 patients that are hospitalized right now, or people that are hospitalized, 29 in the ICU units and 3 on ventilators. All the counties are green and yellow. But, you can see clearly that we've got a little more yellow than we do green. We'd like to have it all green. From the standpoint of our booster shots, I've reminded you 1,000 times. I continue to do so because, just as General Hoyer tells us and everything, we continue to get more and more people across the finish line with first shots. But these booster shots are so essential. If you're 50 years of age and older and you're out 6 months, you were vaccinated 2 times by Pfizer or 2 times by Moderna, and you're out more than 4 months, right at this point in time, it's like you never took the vaccinations. And so the net of the whole thing is please get your booster shots. They're really, really, really important. From the standpoint of the number of shots that we have administered in West Virginia, this is hard to believe, but you just think of the great work that all of our health community, all the different people that have stepped up have done. We have administered 2,635,823 shots. And it's just a lot of work and a lot of people that have stepped up and a lot of lives have been saved. So thank you so much. From the standpoint of our vaccine calculator, all that's been, we've told you over and over that if you'll give us a call and go online and in some way, somehow, we can get you registered into the vaccine calculator, which is nothing to do. That calculator then will notify absolutely as to when you're supposed to take an additional booster shot or whatever it may be. WVU, Clay Marsh, all the different people, General Hoyer and everybody that went in and really pulled this thing off have done an amazing work, so we need to give them credit. We need to absolutely get registered there. Now, from the standpoint of the COVID vaccine, information, or the COVID vaccine information, it's all on our website, same as our free testing, all on the website. We have 72 outbreaks in our long-term care facilities, none in the church community, 64 inmate cases and 20 staff cases. I remind you all the time about the rental assistance program and the homeowner assistance program. Well, why do I do that? And the reason I do that is there's millions and millions of dollars that are sitting right there that have been provided to West Virginians, to families that are homeowners, to people that are renting, to landlords. If we can absolutely, if you're having any kind of troubles and everything, you're late on an electric bill, you're late on your property taxes or whatever it may be, call us. Call us and see if we can get you qualified. If we can, there could very well be significant money coming your way, and those dollars will only help West Virginia. I say it so many times, but $1 in West Virginia, the multiplier effect of those dollars, because you spend those dollars, then more people spend, it's probably 10 to 1. So with that being said, if we can get, additional dollars into our state, we can do it right, we're going to absolutely abide by all the law. if we can do it right, we're going to absolutely, the multiplier effect is real money. Okay, I remind you about giving blood. I've said it over and over. Please consider. Check with your physician, and if you get to go ahead, think really hard about it. We need it. There's a new company that's coming to West Virginia. Here's a new international company. It's on the way. I've said it over and over. They're setting up shop in West Virginia. I hope I pronounce this correctly, but I believe it's Papier Mettler. And they're an international company. They're a German packaging manufacturer. Then they've acquired an industrial building in Moorfield, West Virginia. The $48 million investment is expected to create 100 new jobs in our state. These people are the market leader for service packaging made from paper and plastic, and one of the leading manufacturers of flexible packaging in Europe. The facility in Moorfield will be the company's first production plant in the United States. And I just go on and on about just this. Think about it. Their first production plant in the United States, and they pick West Virginia. Well, why did that happen, or how did that happen? Well, first of all, a lot of people put in a lot of licks. But we absolutely are on a campaign of changing the image and letting the world know just how great West Virginia really is. We're doing it. I promised you a rocket ship ride. And I'm telling you, it's a heck of a ride. And it can only get just better and better unless we get in our own way. We don't want to stop it. We are just absolutely breaking through to all the goodness that can come to our folks in West Virginia. I've said it over and over. We live in paradise. We've got to have opportunities. We've got to have jobs. We've got to have things for our kids to look forward to as they grow. They don't want to go away. But in all honesty, thousands, tens of thousands had to go away. And the reason they had to go away, they had to get a job. Whether they went to Charlotte or they went to Denver or they went to Atlanta or wherever it was, they went away. Well, we don't want people to go away. We want people to come. And absolutely, this is just more and more and more goodness. And I absolutely appreciate these great folks for considering West Virginia, and more so coming to West Virginia. It is really, really good stuff when companies that are dedicated to, the hardworking great people of West Virginia and everything are deciding West Virginia. It is really, really good stuff. Great stuff. I'm announcing an approved bid, on a quarter H, and I've said it over and over that quarter H to me is the most important highway that we need to finish in West Virginia. The second most important are the Coalfield Expressways. Without any question down there, the Coalfield Expressway, the King Coal Highway, that network down there will bring absolutely southern West Virginia online. Quarter H is so vital to us because it absolutely links us right to DC and lots of good stuff. A lot of potential population can come our way. Many things can happen along quarter H that can bring job opportunities off the chart. So with all this, the winning bid came in less than what the Western Division of Highways engineers' estimate was, significantly less. Their estimate was $71 million. The bid came in at $49 million. It's great work by our people. What this is earth moving, the first steps to put us on a way to build more and more of quarter H and complete it. So great work. I congratulate I think it's ALL Construction, and they were the lowest bidder of 5 bidders and on the project. And so, it is another major project of our Road to Prosperity program, and it's just good stuff. So we congratulate ALL. We absolutely are working really hard on quarter H and all of our roads across this great state. You see it everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you see either road improvements or you see orange cones. And I always take time to try to remind everybody, please, when you see our great workers out there, you see those orange cones, and you see our great workers out there working and everything, they're within 3 feet of you a lot of times. and you're going down the road at 70 miles an hour and they're within 3 feet of you, please slow down. Please watch what you're doing. I mean, they're doing great work, and we need them so badly and everything. And they surely deserve us to give them the respect of just slowing down just a little bit. Thank you so much about that. This is an honor, really and truly, that I am very proud of. But I was elected the chair of the Southern Regional Education Board, at the annual meeting, that the board just had. This basically is a board that has collaboration, about all the different things and ways that we can make things better for education and make it better for our kids and just grow ourselves all through the southern states. Now, this stretches from Maryland, the states from Maryland all the way to Texas, and with all of that, they were really intrigued. They've been really intrigued by things that we've done in West Virginia. The big pay raises that we've given back to back, 3 of them to our education communities, whether it be our service workers or our teachers. They were really intrigued about our communities and schools efforts. I mean, you just think about that. And I congratulate our First Lady. I congratulate all those that have been put in the licks about communities and schools, because it has taken off like that rocket ship that we spoke of earlier. And there's been thousands, tens of thousands of kids impacted. Where I don't know, there are 30-some counties now that they're in. They're on their way to 55 counties. A lot of great work there. And the last thing is they were really intrigued by the therapy dog program that we started. And so there's all kinds of ways that we can make things better in education. So it's a real honor to be their chairman. We'll get that job done, and we'll share our ideas, and maybe the ideas will come from many different states on things and ways we can make things better in West Virginia. So that's all I got right now. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you, Governor. Let's now go to Secretary Bill Crouch with the DHHR.
Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to just recognize a long-term employee of DHHR who is retiring. Sharon Siebert has been director of the Bureau of Public Health State Lab for many years. She started working there in 1988 and for almost 34 years has held various positions. Sharon has been an integral part of DHHR during many critical times, including the 2014 water crisis and most recently the COVID-19 pandemic. She's always stepped up to the plate when asked and has been most helpful to me during my tenure. I wish Sharon and her husband Jerome the best as they transition to retirement and enjoy their new granddaughter, Maya. So congratulations, Sharon. One comment about the school clothing vouchers. DHHR's Bureau for Family Assistance will begin accepting school clothing allowance applications on July 1st, 2022 for eligible children enrolled in West Virginia schools. Each eligible child will receive a $200 benefit that may be used towards the purchase of appropriate school clothing or piece goods for families who sew clothing for their children. The following groups will automatically receive school clothing allowance benefits for each school-aged child in their home by the end of June. Families with school-aged children who currently receive WV Works cash assistance, parents or guardians of children in foster care, children aged 4 to 18 who receive SNAP benefits, are enrolled in school and whose household income is under 130% of the federal poverty level. Families who received school clothing allowance in 2021 and currently have Medicaid coverage should receive a school clothing allowance application by U.S. mail in late June. I think we have a slide up. Families may apply online at www.wvpath.org. That's www.wvpath.org, or by contacting their local DHHR office, or by calling 1-877-716-1212. That is 1-877-716-1212. Applications must be received by July 31st, 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. We'll now go to questions from members of the media. The first today from Charles Young with WV News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with WV News. Governor, I know you said yesterday that you wanted to wait to hear from the Attorney General before calling a special session to deal with the state's, pre-existing abortion laws. Have you already spoken with the Attorney General? Do you know when the public can expect to hear that framework? Thank you.
Charles, our people have been in contact with the Attorney General. There's been a lot of feedback between me and Attorney General. Yesterday, there's feedback between myself and a bunch of the House members and everything. There's a lot of moving parts here. We absolutely need to work with the Attorney General. We need to work with the legislature. We all need to work together. There is a lot to discuss and look at and everything. And but before we just jump, let's be prudent and let's be smart, and let's work with all the different people and everything. And I think we'll come out of this with really good stuff from the standpoint of the correct laws and the correct considerations and everything. And so, we're going to come out of this with what's right for West Virginia.
All right, thank you, Charles. Next to Bob Aaron with WCHS and Fox 11.
Governor, the National Guard has really been critical in doing a lot of the heavy lifting as we dealt with the pandemic. But the Guard is facing a deadline on the 30th of this month for troops to be vaccinated. If you look at the national figures, about 13.6% of the Army Guard is not fully vaccinated as we sit here today. The Air Guard doing somewhat better, about 6% of it not vaccinated. How much damage is this going to do to the West Virginia National Guard when this deadline hits, and what are our losses looking like? I tried to contact Guard officials. They declined to release any numbers citing residency, but looking at our overall vaccination rate, which is around, I guess, 55%, I would think we might likely be one of the states that has higher numbers. What kind of impact will this have on the Guard, and what can we do to keep these folks?
Well, Bob, first and foremost, we really need General Hoyer here for that, or General Crane. Your question is really good, and to be perfectly honest, if we hit June 30th and we have a situation to where we've got 13% of our folks that we lose or whatever, that they're not able to qualify for whatever it may be at that point in time, that would be devastating. But with all of that, without any question, General Crane and General Hoyer and all the work that's been done, these people are always prepared. They're always prepared for all that and everything. That's what they do. And we've seen it and seen it and seen it. We don't need to question their effort. We don't need to question how good they are. They have proved their merit over and over and over to us. And absolutely, without any question, I have 1,000% confidence that they'll be ready for whatever it may be. But the thing I need to do to be able to answer that question a little bit better, and I'll promise you that at the next briefing that I'll have them on, and that'll be prior to the 30th, and they'll give more detailed answer than I can give on that.
All right, thank you, Bob. Next, we'll hear from Paul Mullen with WCBC.
Good morning, Governor. Good morning, everyone. Governor, congratulations on your education post. I'm going to ask an education question. Back in 2020, you declared that remote learning had been a failure. And then last year, we had pretty well a normal education year as much as possible. Has comparisons been made between the 2 years to determine the exact amount of learning loss that West Virginia students did incur during the first year of the pandemic? And then going with your new position, do you plan on focusing on that with the governors of other states and how they are addressing it? Thank you.
Well, Paul, I would say this, you know, those studies without any question are ongoing. And that's been a really hot topic all across our nation, if not all across the world. You know, without question in my eyes, you know, I just call it like I see it and everything. That's all I'm capable of doing. You know, I'm not going to hide anything from anybody, but the remote learning on the first go round with COVID and everything, I think was surely not successful. And from that, it had to leave a hole in the bucket. And without any question, you know, whether it be Superintendent Birch or all the different folks, you know, on the education side, they work on this nonstop. You know, kids can catch up and kids can rebound, and our teachers and all those great people that are trying to look after the kids, they've worked really hard and they want them to catch up. And so, you know, some way, somehow, you know, we'll be continuing to share opportunities that we have in West Virginia with all the people, you know, from all the southern states, you know, from the standpoint of me being able to chair that committee and that board. But Paul, it's a good question. We don't want to now just back up and just say, oh, well, you know, that's long gone and everything. And we really don't need to have any level of concern about, you know, something that was missed, you know, what I always call a hole in the bucket, you know, but at the end of the day, we got a lot of people across this nation as well as in the state of West Virginia that are looking at that.
All right, thank you, Paul. Next, we'll go to Rachel Pellegrino with Nexstar Media.
Hello, Governor. With all this uncertainty right now surrounding the overturn of Roe v. Wade, what are your plans moving forward? I know you just mentioned you're still working on next steps with the Attorney General, but what outcome would you personally want to happen? Would you want a heartbeat ban? Would you want to make abortion a felony?
Okay, Rachel, I'm trying really, really hard to hear. Could you maybe do your whole question again, please? Because I couldn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Just overall, what are your plans moving forward with the overturn of Roe v. Wade? I know you mentioned that you're still working on next steps with the Attorney General, but what outcome would you personally want to happen?
Well, Rachel, here's what I want to happen. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, from the standpoint of where I stand, and I don't want to impose my feelings on anyone, but I stand strongly for life. Now, you know, but I absolutely also stand for logic and reason. And we have to have logic and reason as we discuss and approach all these different, you know, aspects of the impact of Roe v. Wade. Now, from that standpoint, Rachel, you know, in all respect to you and everything, this has to take some time. We have laws on the books right now. You know, but this has to take some time to where we have extended discussions with the AG, the Attorney General, as well as the legislature, and share our thoughts from the governor's office, hear their thoughts. We absolutely don't need people running and jumping up on a soapbox just to get some, you know, political notice. But I think we'll make great progress, and we'll come out of this with the reflection of West Virginians, and we'll come out of it in a way that you know, will surely comply with the law.
All right, thanks, Rachel. Governor, I'll turn it back to you.
Well, I really don't. I really, you know, didn't have all the experts with me today, so I didn't make any notes. And I guess I answered all the questions that we had, but I celebrate the fact that we only had one death in West Virginia, but I ask for all of your prayers because one death is one too many. And so the only other thing I could say is an honor to be the chair of the Southern Regional Education Board. From the standpoint of where we are within West Virginia, I think we need to continue to encourage folks to get their booster shots and all their vaccines, and you know, congratulate 1,000 times Pompier Mettler for coming to West Virginia And and not only do I congratulate, but I thank them. You know, we're doing a lot of stuff in West Virginia, and it's working. You know, we're right on the verge of running across the finish line with an incredible surplus, and there's so many good things going on in West Virginia. But we don't want to stop there, do we? I mean, for crying out loud, you know, I've still got almost 2.5 years, and we're going to absolutely continue to flip every stone and try to set our state up, you know, that going forward, we're on a great platform, and then hopefully the powers to be in the future will take this and run with it, and we will just get better and better and better. You know, like I said, when I walked in the door, like it or not like it, you know, but it's just fact. I don't want anything. I've never wanted anything. There is nothing that I've wanted coming to this governorship for me or my family. It's been tough in a lot of ways. And, you know, you had to pay a whole lot of you know, whatever. But it was, at the same time, it's a great honor, and we're doing it, and absolutely we're on our way, and we're just going to keep at it. So thank you so much.